Good morning, lovely folks of YouTube. Ren here. Just wanted to touch base with y'all, talk about a few things that have come up on some of the comments on my videos. Just give kind of an explanation, background. I have gotten a couple of comments on some of my videos of people asking for my recommendations on medicinal uses of some of the plants, or just, that sort of thing. And I want to just inform y'all that if you are looking for medicinal practices, herbalism practices, my channel is not the place you want to go for that. I have a professional medical license. I work in the medical profession, and we have very strict regulations on the giving of medical advice to people who are not our patients. So if you're looking for medical advice, I legally cannot give it to you. I apologize, but I'm not going to risk my career, my life, my livelihood, my profession, just for some random stranger on the internet who posts a comment on my YouTube video. If you have medicinal questions, my recommendation, or if you're looking for treatment for a medical condition, my recommendation is always going to be talk to your doctor, okay? We're not perfect, but we do have a lot of resources. In particular, like one guy was asking for medicinal uses for treatment of asthma. There's so many asthma medications out there on the market that are really wonderful and are doing really good things to help control asthma. And we don't really have any herbal remedies that are going to work as well as what we have in the medical field. So I am happy to give information on some uses for plants for what we call symptom control, which is what we use in complementary medicine. I'm a big fan of complementary medicine, that actual, like, researched medicinal uses of drugs can be augmented with the use of herbs for symptom control. So, like, for example, I have no problem telling you that, like, if you're having some nausea, peppermint and ginger are really good remedies for that, because peppermint and ginger are generally regarded as safe, GRAS, and they do sometimes help with that symptom control. They're not going to cure the underlying cause of your nausea, but they can help. So if you're looking for something along those lines, I might be able to help you out. But if you're looking for medical advice, do not ask me. I'm not going to talk about medicinal uses of plants other than just some traditional uses. I will warn you about plants that are dangerous medicinally and why, but I'm not going to be diagnosing or helping you with your medical issues over the internet, because that's just not a thing I'm going to do. Okay? So, some of you may have an issue with this. You may be like, well, one of the things that I always hear about, why people reject traditional medicine is, or not traditional medicine, why people reject allopathic medicine, is that it's not natural. It's not natural. It's not natural. Honey, nothing we do is natural. Under those definitions, what I'm doing right now, recording a video and putting it up on YouTube that anywhere, anytime, crossing the limits of space and time, you can watch me talking to you. How is that natural? You can't pick and choose what natural things you want and what unnatural things you want, okay? Personally, I'm all in. If this is all unnatural, I'm all in, because it makes my life so much better. I believe that we have an obligation to make sure that these unnatural things that we're doing don't infringe on the rights of other species to live and thrive. But yeah. The other thing too is that, like, technically we're a part of nature. Personally, I believe that our gift of scientific inquiry, being able to figure things out, puzzle things out, and create new things out of the knowledge that we've gained from observation, that was a gift from the gods. That's the flame that Prometheus gave to us, and I'm not going to reject that gift. So that's just my stance on it. All right, so let me move on to the other thing that I see. I get a lot of flack, and it's usually on one particular video about me trusting the FDA and how that's laughable. Okay, so here's the thing. The FDA is a government organization that basically compiles the best known scientific information we have on food and drugs. Do I trust the FDA? No, because trust isn't an issue of this. I trust the scientific method, okay? There are a lot of things the FDA does that I just flat out do not agree with. There are things that are available over the counter, things that I buy and use that are available over the counter that I'm just like, this is not safe. Like, I know that I'm using it appropriately because I've used it in consultation with my doctor. But the fact that any yokel can just walk into the store and buy this and use it without... But according to the FDA, that's fine. So no, I don't agree with the FDA. But I use it as a source for finding information that has been verified through the scientific method. I trust the methods that they use to gain that information. Is that information going to be 100% accurate? No, but it's the best information we have currently. There's a lot of things that they haven't done research on, particularly these medicinal uses of plants. They don't do the research on it because it's not profitable, and that's a really big fucking fault in our system, that we don't do anything unless it's profitable. I'm not a big fan of for-profit medicine. Don't get me wrong, I am a member of the for-profit medicine organization. I like to put food on my table, but I don't think that corporations as a whole should be driving medicinal advances based on what's most profitable. So that's basically going to sum that up. The FDA, the ODS, the Office of Dietary Supplements, which is part of the NIH, the CDC, all of those are organizations that definitely are fallible, but they usually are presenting what we have as the best possible evidence, and they're clearinghouses where you can find that evidence. You can go to them and through them to find the research that they've based their recommendations on and make your own judgment calls based on that. And that research is what I trust. The process used in the research is what I trust, okay? Because it should be verifiable, it should be repeatable, and it should make sense. Anyway, so some of you are probably thinking at this point, what? Because here I am, I'm a witch, and I talk about magical practices all the time, but I'm also like real big into this whole science shit. Like, what the fuck? You're probably thinking, like, you may think that those two are incompatible. I don't believe that. I believe that science and magic are very compatible because they're talking about two different things. Two very different things, okay? Magic helps you with all the things that science can't do. There are a lot of things out there that science can't do. We can't track, we can't verify, and that's where magic comes in, okay? We have an example of something that we have studied and documented in science that is definitely magic. It falls under my purview of what I consider magic, only in science we call it placebo effect. We give people something that should have no medicinal effect whatsoever, and they still receive a medicinal effect from it. What is that if not magic, right? So, the way I like to boil it down, I always think of this particular quote from the movie Contact, which was written by, not Asimov, the other one. I'm drawing a blank right now, it'll come. But anyway, Jodie Foster, Matthew McConaughey, great movie. But there's at one point where Jodie Foster's character, of course, is really big into science, scientific method, wants everything proven. And Matthew McConaughey's character finally at one point asks her, "Did you love your father?" And she's just completely taken back by this and goes, "Well, yes, of course I love my father." And he says, "Prove it." There are things we can't prove with science. There are things we can't track. There are things we can't quantify. Those are the things that magic fills in those gaps. So, anyway, just wanted to get that out into the universe, send y'all my blessings. Hope this video finds you well, and I'll see you again soon.